So I made a community post and I asked you guys for your best NBA hot takes pertaining to the playoffs. So today we're going to react to your best NBA playoff hot takes. We're going to grade them A through F.
We'll give you guys all of the correct judgments.
And chat, I want you guys to tell us, let us know how good these takes are. First off, we got this guy, T12 says, the Clippers are the second best team in the Western Conference. Great defense along with a pretty good offense with healthy Kawhi being a top 10 player in the league. James Harden is still very good. Powell got all-star considerations this season. And Zubac is a top 40 to 50-ish player. Do you guys feel like this is a good take? Are the Clippers the second most dangerous team out there?
You know what? I'm feeling really good
I'm feeling very good. I'm giving this an A for a hot take. Mo's giving it an A as well because it's true. It's true. The idea, best case scenario for the Clippers is you have James Harden who can set the table for everybody, and Kawhi Leonard is just the Terminator, and he is going to dominate from the mid-range, play good defense, and you're just going to eat like that.
They check off every single box that it takes to have a competing team, a championship level team in the NBA today. You got Kawhi Leonard who could easily be like top 5 player. I don't know where he ranks in that conversation in the playoffs, but he is highly up there.
Well, if he plays like he did in game 2, he's certainly high up there.
Yeah.
So that would make him very high. If that
exactly. You got James Harden who is
averaging 40 points on like 70%.
ridiculous.
You got it.
Probably number one.
It doesn't even make any sense. You got James Harden who is one of the better point guards in the NBA today, and he's in a role in which where he's not forced to consistently give you like 25, 20 points a game even. All he needs to do is set the table up on a consistent basis and hit timely threes here and there, and he does that perfectly fine. And then after that, you got all the other like pieces when it comes to Chris Dunn, and then you have the Bogdan Bogdanovics of the world who hasn't even been like that useful or that good over this series. Guys like that exist. Ben Simmons is there. And then I didn't even mention like Zubac, he is rising very, very quickly in terms of how I see him compared to like all the other centers in the NBA today.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
It's looking like such a good take. A lot of people are saying it's a lukewarm take.
It is,
that the Clippers are there.
I started with the
So for that reason, I'm switching it to a B because it might just be, it might not be that much of a hot take.
Okay. Yeah, I mean.
But it's a true statement.
We'll see. Obviously, the other teams that people took super seriously out there is number 2. It's like the Warriors, the Lakers, and maybe the Timberwolves. We'll see how the Lakers look in game 2. Maybe we'll see. But after game 1, it's looking shaky. Yeah. The Warriors have to deal with a ridiculous war with the Rockets. So it's fairly safe to say this for now. Okay. That's an easy one, though. We started off tame for a reason. Let's move on. Number 2, the Pacers will run it back and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. So what he's saying is the Pacers will beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 2. Now listen, man, we all like the Pacers to varying degrees. We all respect them. We all love Tyrese Halliburton. He got voted today the most overrated player by his peers, actually, which is crazy. I think he's one of the most underrated players, actually. So I love the Pacers. Do you love them enough to say they'll upset the number 1 seed in the second round?
This is a hot take.
I'm giving it a B.
So I'm going to agree with you. We're aligned again. This is a B.
Yes, I think that.
I don't know about all this. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I'm giving it a B just because I think that if Tyrese is playing at this level, like you said earlier, Andrew Nembhard, playoff riser, and Pascal playing at a solid level.
I'm lying. This is just dumb. I got to give this an F. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, you gave it a B because it's audacious. That doesn't mean it's right. I don't know. Like, I can't give it that high of a score.
I can't do it.
It's not impossible. If you want to give it a C, the Pacers, if anybody was going to upset the Cavs and you had to rank the most likely teams to do that, the Pacers' frenetic style of play and how wide open the offense is, you can't hone in on one player. Like against the Bucks, if you can stop Giannis, that gives you some satisfaction that you can stop the rest of the offense. I don't feel like there's one head you can cut off the snake here that makes it super easy. They're just going to be a tough team to deal with regardless. Obviously, they don't have the talent of the Cavs or whatever, but maybe there's a world in which a team like that can upset them and get them uncomfortable. It's not impossible, so I can't give it an F. Shit's not higher than a C or D though. They're not. I'm not going to pick the Cavs. I mean, I'm not going to pick the Pacers.
If this was to happen, then like Donovan Mitchell's leg would literally have to fall off. I'm not talking about no ankle roll. I'm not talking about no like fucking hip abductors, whatever the fuck. Like his leg has to fall off, and as long as he's intact,
brisket,
he can win
off the bone.
He can win this series alone. I'm giving this an F.
Slow cooked, smoked, roasted, off the bone.
I appreciate the audacity though.
Okay. Not the worst take in the world. Chad is firing it up, saying F, D. You guys are not rocking with the Pacers, I see. And I get it. Listen, NBA fans at large do not respect Tyrese Halliburton, do not respect their style of play around him. So I get it. But I won't give it an F. That's a bit harsh.
Wouldn't it be funny, though, if they just make it to the Eastern Conference Finals
again
in back-to-back seasons? And it's just like this weird era of like like this team that was actually like low-key good.
See, you know, the thing is that we're just gonna spin it. We're just gonna be like, every year the Cavs play a soft ass Eastern Conference Finals. They get a Mickey
We'll do
Mouse run.
everything but give them guys credit.
I mean, the Cavs got to play plumbers every year. They get free finals berths. I mean, the Celtics.
Pacers, yeah.
But okay, next one. The Thunder are gonna choke in the Western Conference Finals and get swept.
The swept aspect is where I'm putting an F on this. If you tell me, obviously, I think that the Thunder are not only going to win the West, but win the title. But if you told me that, like, hey, they ran into the Clippers, Kawhi was on a heater, like, that's crazy. If you tell me that, like, Jokic just starts going ridiculous and all this stuff happens, fine.
Who in the Western Conference is good enough to sweep a 68-win team? There is no demons out there that are going to sweep a team this good.
He had me up until he used those last 3 words.
He didn't have me for a fucking second. He didn't have me for a second. This is a terrible take.
Choking the Western Conference, we've seen that before time and time again. Mm-hmm. It happens to the best of them, especially with like the youngest team in the NBA, which I'm not using that as a ploy or excuse or whatever. I'm just saying it happens. But to say they get swept is just like outrageous.
We've literally never seen a team this good lose in the conference finals. By all indicators, we've never seen a team as successful regular season wise as this lose in the conference finals. I'm not betting against history. F take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to.
If you tell me the Celtics beat them up in the finals, I guess that's possible. I'm not going to pick anybody in the West to fuck with the Thunder this year.
Yeah, I agree. Getting swept? No one can do that.
But listen, it's a hot take. So shout out you, Shush Smith.
He understood the assignment.
You gave us some heat.
That's comprehension.
That's just hate, though.
You burned down the house, but you gave us some heat.
That's hate.
Next up, the Warriors are winning the championship, and Steph Curry solidifies himself as a top 5 player of all time.
I like this storyline. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna think about this twice, bro.
No logic, just vibes.
No logic, bro.
All right, same for me. No logic. I'm giving it an A.
You're a Steph Curry fan, so this is natural.
If we're rating your hot take on how much we'd like to see it, I guess you can give it an F.
Wait, no. On how much?
I mean, my bad. An A. I meant to say an A. But once again, I am not picking anybody out west to fuck with the OKC Thunder. Not even the championship equity of the Warriors. Not even playoff Jimmy. I'm not picking against the Thunder.
But as a hot take, this is a very good hot take because if the Warriors were to slip into the Western Conference Finals and even the NBA Finals, of course it will be shocking to us, but it's not like we wouldn't see this coming because they've literally shown us to be one of the best teams that the NBA has to offer since the Jimmy Butler trade happened. So
yeah, if they won the finals, they would have to go through either one of the best teams like that we've ever seen in the Thunder, a team that is kind of on that pace in the Cavs, or the defending champion in the Celtics. Like you're gonna have to go through a combination of those 3 teams. And if Steph Curry and the Warriors do that,
is that enough to put him like top 5 all time? That's a lot.
It holds a lot of equity.
Bro, if they beat the Thunder, a top 5 net rating team of all time, and then beat the Celtics,
if he gets 5
last year, a top 5 net rating team of all time, that means they will have
passed LeBron.
Bro, beating OKC and beating the Celtics means you beat the 2 best teams of the 2020s.
Yeah,
easy top 5. That'd be one of the most. That would be like a Dirk level ring. Well, he's more.
He already has one, so having 2 of them hoes. Oh,
listen,
man,
that
top 5.
This would be a fairy tale right here. This would be a crowning of like, new Mount Rushmore type of guy.
Realistically, I'm gonna give this a B hot take. Because
I think if he wins this year, I would be hard to put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar over him at number 3.
Yeah,
it would be a conversation. I might still go Kareem. I'm not saying it's easy, but it would be a conversation.
Yeah,
because like, listen, he'd match the rings, and it would be the level of difficulty of rings.
He'd match the rings of Magic.
He'd have the easy ones, and he'd have the hard ones. Oof.
Listen, understand though, nothing's easy.
I ain't gonna. I kind of want to see this happen now.
2017 was easy. I'm not gonna lie. That one was easy.
It was simple. It wasn't easy.
2018 was easier. Well, okay, that's listen. As far as
I agree. I think 2017 might be the easiest championship of all time.
Easily. Okay. Next up, Mavs won the Luka trade in the short term.
All right. Well, considering that everybody's legs fell off, I'm going with an F. That is a terrible take. And listen, every time Nico Harrison opens his mouth, the trade gets even worse. It didn't make sense in the moment. It doesn't make sense now. The Mavs are out of the play-in. Anthony Davis in the last play-in game was walking around hurting, like having back spasm, calf spasm. Everything was wrong. Kyrie's not there.
The chat is saying this is a Z tier take. I think legit Sheep saw the prompt to give us a hot take and said, let me say the dumbest shit I can imagine. I think he fundamentally misunderstands what a hot take is.
As a hot take and as a regular take, it's bad. It's an F.
If I'm thinking like someone like Nico Harrison, this is a genius trade. And I also think that this is a genius.
Back to selling shoes, brother. You can't make any more trades.
Go back to selling shoes.
Go back to what you know.
Get back in them factories.
Next up, if the Nuggets don't make it out of the second round, they'll blow the whole thing up and trade everyone but Jokic.
Trade everyone but Jokic?
So what he's saying is they'll trade Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Let's say that the two highest trade value pieces around him. They'll completely revamp the team.
Then he said same goes for Giannis and the Bucks. I think there's going to be a complete revamp for both of them. I would say there's more so of a case for Giannis than someone like Jokic because for Giannis, like, at least Jokic has been through the first round plenty of times.
Giannis might be the one traded. I don't know. I go with the Bucks for a reason. The Nuggets.
Things will happen regardless.
You already know what's going to happen. My hot take, right? And this is probably not even the hot take at this point. Right. But you already know. The Bucks lose in the first round. Knicks lose in the first round. You just swap the big contracts to get Giannis and Cat in a trade, and you move on from there.
All right, we're going to the next one. No more fan fiction allowed. Jalen Green will be the next great playoff dropper.
Playoff dropper? Well, he hasn't risen.
I don't know. Exactly. How can you drop when you're already like
like his standard has not been high. He has one playoff game and has played terribly.
Yeah.
So it's just an F.
It's almost too easy though. You get no applause from me. This is too simple. This is too obvious of an observation to be like, oh, Jalen Green bad, hot take.
They said bro's falling from the ground to the pit.
Exactly. Where's he going?
This is low hanging fruit. You get no applause.
Oh man. Next great playoff dropper.
Kawhi is the best playoff riser of all time.
This is not crazy to say at all.
I almost feel like this should be the talking point that like, yes, he is, right? Like I feel like right now people say like Jamal Murray is because his points per game is the biggest gap there. In terms of actually getting shit done at the highest level with the highest responsibility, I feel like it has to be Kawhi.
Yeah, especially and the riser part of this conversation is so pivotal because it's just like what he does outside of the playoffs is just so, man, he's never been in consideration for winning MVP whatsoever. He's not that type of guy. All NBA, of course, like for the most part, he's always in those conversations until he gets hurt, completely like depleted off of that conversation. But when it comes to like what he does on a consistent basis in the regular season compared to being superhuman, just like Iron Man, whatever it is in the playoffs, I agree with this.
We're talking about Jimmy Butler here. Like Kawhi's baseline as a player is still very high.
Jimmy Butler is what you'd want. Kawhi Leonard is like final form Jimmy Butler to me.
Jimmy Butler's led two teams to the finals.
Yeah, and
with far less help. Kawhi had a great team when he won. Jimmy Butler got that shit out of the mud. The teams weren't bad, but nobody expected those Heat teams to be in the finals, and it was almost entirely because of him. You're right. Maybe it is Jimmy Butler.
But can I call you the best if you've never gotten it done before?
Yes. It's about the gap and how much you rise, not to the height you rise. It's the biggest difference.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's Jimmy Butler.
And also there is the whole, in the few series that Kawhi Leonard has the ability to rise, he has risen. The other ones, I don't know.
Everyone just acts like the bubble didn't happen. Like him and like him and Paul George didn't blow a 3-1 lead.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
Let's just act like it didn't happen. Anyways, let's take
No, it did happen. In a setting where everybody was just going crazy. TJ Warren was averaging like 50. Everybody can everybody can make shots except for them.
Bro, you heard Lou Williams. Like no one was taking it seriously.
And that's on them. That's on them for being mentally tissue.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lock in.
Next one. Jokic leads the Nuggets to the championship and win Finals MVP, giving him even more argument for being a top 10 player in NBA history. So I guess the take is, does another championship give him top 10 status already?
Another championship, yes, but I'm giving this a D because I just don't. It's just not going to happen. But like, shout out. Also, he's kind of already around that range, like 18, like 20 down to 12.
This is a big difference. So 18 to 10 is a pretty hard jump. You have to pass Kevin Durant, maybe Hakeem Olajuwon, a bunch of other legends. You might have to put him above Kobe Bryant in certain people's rankings.
I mean, if he has another ring, but 4 MVPs, well, 3 MVPs, 2 rings,
2 Finals MVPs. The best offensive peak of all time, potentially. It's hard to keep that out of the top 10. Now, listen, we don't think it's going to happen, so we're ignoring that part of this hot take. We all think this is bullshit. They're not going to win. But if it were, would you be willing to put him to that level?
Oh, easily. I think, me personally, I would put him to that level.
Is it easy though? Like it's easy to say that, but when you
top
really
10
think
is
about it,
still very, very hard.
I think we all have like Kobe, Hakeem, KD is like 9 through 11, or we're missing some other people they might put above KD, but Kobe and Hakeem are probably 9 and 10.
I think I had KD at like 15. Whatever.
Yeah, you fucking hate KD.
I had him worse than that, I think.
Oh, I had him like 13. But regardless, would you put him above Hakeem Olajuwon and Kobe Bryant?
Man.
With another ring, again.
That's tough, right?
It's tough. I guess if the take is giving him more of an argument,
well, yeah, of course,
like,
more.
Like, yes, that's cool. However, I don't want to think about this right now, so I'm giving it.
Exactly.
This hypothetical makes me sad. Next one. OKC sweeps the entire playoffs and becomes the greatest team of all time.
Not lose a game?
That's hard, but man,
I'm giving it an A.
That's a decent take.
Greatest team of all time.
I'm giving it an A. They look so dominant, and they look so good. And I don't like. There's a possibility that they sweep Memphis, and then they get like another week and a half off, and then you go and whoever comes out of the 4-5 out of Clippers Nuggets is just going to be beaten up. OKC's just going to be out there playing video games for 10 days, just chilling. and then you play the other side of the bracket, and it's going to be. It should be light work.
The hard part is the finals. You can't sweep the Celtics. There's the way they play, the 3-point shooting variance. They're gonna have some highs. You can't sweep the Celtics.
I mean, it might be the Pacers, according to some other people.
Shit. But listen, you might be able to sweep the Cavs. I don't know. Probably not. But listen, can they win every series in 5? I think that's very realistic.
Sweep the Cavs. Not playing.
This is very admirational. I like.
Listen, for a hot take, I don't think that's crazy.
It's not crazy, but sweep. I think
I'm giving it an A.
He didn't consider the rest of. He didn't consider the Celtics.
Hey, the Pacers are up
what if he
31-16 on the Bucks right now.
What if he did?
Jeez.
Word? Okay, yeah. And
is
we'll see y'all
Damian
later.
Lillard
We're going
doing
to tap
right
into
now?
this. What is happening?
But if they did, yes, they would be the greatest team of all time. If you win 68 games, have the MVP, then you sweep the playoffs, yes.
You got it. No one can say anything about that.
Yeah, you're just fucking Teflon.
Listen, it's only been 6 minutes, and it's a hard standard. Kyle Kuzma is currently on pace for another 0-0-0 through 6 minutes. He's not on the floor right now.
Oh, shit.
Look, listen, as far as a hot take goes, this is obviously too hot, but it's not insane.
Not bad at all. Damn, Kyle Kuzma.
Next up.
Yo, what if he does it again?
Next up. Kyle Kuzma should come off the bench for the rest of the playoffs. Listen, he had 0. He had the trillion stat line last game.
I'm giving this an F because like who else are you gonna put in that spot?
Someone who does something.
Fucking Kevin Porter Jr. wing stopper. Get out there and go play some
come out
defense.
there, buddy.
Listen, if he gets a second 0-0-0, give it an A.
Like, I'd rather play if he's not gonna hit any 3-point shots and not space the floor or get me any rebounds, especially I'm playing Andre Jackson Jr.
I really think that if he does it again, right? Again, listen, we are
Doing it
on
again is
we are
historic.
on 0-0-0 watch. If he does it again, the Bucks should be able to amnesty his contract. they should be able to just cut him. It doesn't go against the cap, and everyone's just like, "Hey, I'm sorry we did this." Like it just doesn't count because this is just unheard of.
Oh man. Healthy Kawhi is the best player in any series he is a part of due to sheer consistency. So for this playoff run, any series you can imagine, do you think he'll be the best player that you'd want, assuming he's healthy?
It's hard for me to have that conversation when Jokic is this, but him and OKC, him and Chase.
I'm gonna give this an A. I do think obviously the defensive prime of Kawhi, like we're not at that peak.
We got to calm down a little bit, I think.
If Kawhi is like this,
we got to calm down a little
the
bit.
last couple times that we've seen Kawhi be healthy, it's been kind of special.
We have to calm down a little bit, I think.
It's been kind of special.
We must calm down a lot of it, I think.
I'm not going to calm down.
Tell me why
I'm actually
going to
get louder. I'm giving this an A. I'm rocking with this.
But yeah, man, most series, Kawhi can be better than most players. Jokic, I'm picking over him. This version of Shea probably picking over him, but I guess that could be a conversation.
That's close. That's tough.
If he continues to play good in game 2, for sure.
Exactly.
But it's a big if. It's one of the fucking best games of his career. We'll see if he continues to be on that pace. But
15 and 19.
if you tell me he's like a top 5 player in the playoffs right now, that's not ridiculous. Like the 5th best player in the league is Jason Tatum.
I agree.
Cade Cunningham is the best player in the Knicks Pistons series.
All right, listen. I'm so sick of this.
I mean, it is what it is.
I'm so sick of this. There was some of this bubbling before the series started, and it's happening right now.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, Brunson is averaging like 40 minutes a game. He's averaging 30 points a game. He's an elite shot maker. What are we doing? He just got here, man. He just got to the party. And I'm not allowing this through 2 games to say that he's the best player in this series.
But he's not tougher than Cade.
What do you mean not tougher? His ankle's been jacked up and he's still getting buckets.
I'm just kidding.
They've been fouling him every single time up the floor. Dennis Schroeder's been, oh my God, been body blocking him like a linebacker doing defensive slides. I'm sick of it.
But does he have aura and hype moments? The way Cade Cunningham does.
Did you see the way Cade Cunningham put the ball behind his back and shoved, I don't know who that was, Josh Hart out the way and just hit that one very unathletic tomahawk?
But is he dangerous?
Jalen Brunson can't do that.
Is he dangerous?
Is
he a problem?
Brunson is a problem.
Is he a predicament in the same way that Cade?
Absolutely not.
Is he the paradox?
Absolutely not.
Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't get it. Nobody. We've talked about.
Do I have to spell it out? Cade is a lot prettier than Brunson. I'm going towards Cade. How many times do I got to say
it? Just because my light skinned star has a big head does not mean that you can use that against him.
I just did. And his beard's better.
Ooh. All right, now that's a low blow.
Get fucked.
That's a low blow.
Get fucked.
That is a low blow.
That's a low blow. You can't be going for his beard, man.
Next up, Paolo Banchero is and has been on Anthony Edwards' level.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, fam.
Yeah.
Sorry, fam.
No, Anthony Edwards' level was tough because Anthony Edwards is currently playing as one of the best players in the world. I think we actually need to realize Ant is like rising to another level that people haven't quite accepted yet.
Exactly.
Like that's a top 5 player in the world potentially if the playoff run continues. But Paolo was playing really well, so Ant was the wrong benchmark. But if you want to big up Paolo and say he's playing at a level better than people expected, that's not ridiculous. You just chose the wrong marker.
I agree. Shout out to Paolo. He's doing exactly what needs to be done in order for the Orlando Magic to at least like get the wheels going. Are they going to win? Absolutely not. But is he getting his buckets? Yes, that's all you need to do.
You got too much dip on your chip, but you picked up the right chip. I'll say that.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
Let's go.
I like that.
When the Knicks broke up the Villanova group, they lost their chance at a ring.
This is an A. This is an A. I think when you trade, this is so sad. They had the best vibes going into the offseason. You had already traded for Mikal before you traded away Dante.
Chad's giving this an A.
Yeah,
it is because the one thing that we've said all year long, and I don't want to harp on it too much because it's going to make me sad, but like we've talked about obviously the defense and like Cat has done his job.
Harp on it.
No. He's done his job. He's played as well as you can like reasonably ask him to play. It's just hard to create a solid defense. And so for a team that had a very, very like tough defensive minded identity last year, that hasn't been able to be replicated with Cat and Brunson. And so yeah, that was tough. So I'm giving this an A.
I'm giving this an A because
they can't be Boston.
With this Villanova group
I'd be shocked.
being broken up, you also lose a lot of your flexibility.
But I also still believe
asset wise and shit, and they're now like locked in handcuffs with Mikal Bridges in the 5-6.
It's not Mikal's fault though.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. They just like bit way too hard and invested way too much into him.
This is an F take. There was no championship window no matter who they traded for. It was always fake.
Cut the stream.
Shit doesn't matter. They weren't going to win regardless.
You know what?
Julius Randle, Cat, don't give a fuck. It was Celtics in 5 either way.
You know what? Initially, I was about to say I disagree for other reasons, but I like where you're headed towards.
Yeah, they weren't beating the Celtics either fucking way. Jaden McDaniels is the 3rd best player between the Lakers and the Timberwolves. So Ant, Luka, Jaden McDaniels.
Are you stupid?
It's a hot take.
I'm giving this an F.
Obviously, the conference. Like, so who is Austin Reeves to you, man? That's my biggest question.
Don't even get there. It's LeBron, Luka, Ant. That's the top 3 in the series.
Oh yeah, this is obviously a bad take. But listen, it's bold. Shout out you. If you would have said 4th, then maybe we could have had a conversation because that would have been Reeves versus Jaden McDaniels. But LeBron could be 50. I don't think anybody's picking Jaden McDaniels over LeBron.
Yeah.